So yesterday we did actually have a very interesting announcement in the War Tycoon official server going through what's going to be happening next, which of course means we're going to be getting the upgradable vehicles, which we have already talked about this. But today I would like to specifically talk about the fact and what the community has actually thought about this, because in my personal opinion, if we do go ahead and actually analyze this a little bit more, I do personally think that there are a lot of things that can truly go wrong in terms of this update and how much terrible things it can actually cause for the game. So today we're gonna be reading through some community feedback, but also giving my own opinion. Alright, so let's go ahead and cover some comments. So first comment that people of course are going to be sending is that they are going to be hating this update so much. The next comment over here is, yes, the F-35 have 3x HP and 20 missiles. Another set of comments is stuff like, is the Zoom Vault going to be upgradable? And then there are also more people who are just genuinely not very happy about the fact that War Tycoon as a whole is kind of going through the pathway of wanting to have more of statistical upgrades to vehicles rather than being able to actually have vehicle types. And then there are other people that are in general not very happy about the fact that very weak vehicles in the game as a whole would also be pretty much one of the strongest vehicles in the game after the fact that we are able to pretty much upgrade them. And in a sense, I could agree to this a little bit because of the fact that a lot of people are not going to be liking the idea of a lot of vehicles just being super overpowered right after a little bit of changes that are going to be made to them. So pretty much in the most simple terms, the main issue that people do go ahead and have with a lot of vehicles that are going to be kind of changed in this brand new update is going to be the fact that, for example, the payload is going to be becoming much stronger. The vehicles will just be having a lot more health in general, which is exactly what Gizmo has said. But in a sense, I wouldn't say that this is going to be this much of a positive, because just imagine vehicles like the F-35 being able to have an even bigger upgrade than they already have to become even more powerful and even more powerful, like having the highest turning speed in the game for any vehicle just because the vehicle does have some kind of upgrade. I find this to be actually not this realistic as a whole as well, and I believe the best way to go ahead with updates like this rather than changing the statistics as a whole, and the better way to actually go ahead to go with this is, for example, give us vehicle variants. We have ourselves the Mi-24 Hind, that we have any other like 3 or 4 other variants of this vehicle as a whole, and that we could just pretty much upgrade in that sense, because just making the vehicle statistics would really cause a lot of unbalances in the game, and some vehicles do definitely deserve to be having some kind of limit, because if there will just not be as much limits and the vehicles could just be upgraded so freaking much that even the starter Little Bird could just become so freaking OP, I just don't think that would be working, and it wouldn't really be that good. Because at the end of the day, imagine there will be a person who's going to be purchasing the Mi-28 Havoc for like 1,000 Robux or something, and then after that there's like a Little Bird user who just decided to upgrade his Little Bird, and they can pretty much match a vehicle that someone paid almost like, I'd say, $12 for, which is just absolutely insane. So I think it would really ruin the way that the game's balanced scaling actually works. Another set of ideas that a lot of people did have for the fact that on how this update is going to be going is the fact that you could pretty much add more weaponry to vehicles as well, because they said that the firepower could be updated. So what does this actually mean? Does it mean we're going to be able to get more missiles, more bombs, more anything on our vehicles? Is it possible that the tanks like the Abrams X is gonna be able to have wire-guided missiles? We could put more missiles on top of it, give it a stinger or something. Like, there are just so many ways that developers could go with this, and I think the only reasonable way that could keep the game balanced in a sense is just going to be vehicle variants. If it's only going to be vehicle upgrades, I don't know what happened to this F-35 by the way, but if it's just going to be vehicle upgrades as a whole, I don't think that's just going to be working realistically. It's going to be really making the game really unbalanced. So hopefully the developers will actually be putting a true work into this, and hopefully the stuff will remain balanced. But there are up to like 100 plus vehicles in this game, so it is going to be very difficult to kind of put everything in a perfect stance. Anyways, those are my concerns as of this update, and I do fully agree with the community a lot on this. Hopefully this update is not going to be ruining this game in any way, but if some things do get too overpowered, I really hope that the full game rebalance will be happening soon, as Gizmo has also promised. So let's not be worried, but the possibility is always going to be there. Anyway, I'll see you guys next video. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks so much to my channel members.